Y'all ready for the word today? Thank you so much for stepping into our sanctuary. This is a place of positivity and reflection, of growth. All praise to the Most High God. Love to the Mother. Today's word is resist the temptation to act quickly due to anxiety. Slow down. Really slow down, y'all. We live in a world, y'all, where everything is trying to get us to move fast. There are different places that are better than some where things slow down more and you're actually able to think. But the problem with the world today is that we are so constantly in motion from task to task to, whether it's in the morning with the kids and, depending on where you're at in your life. If you're younger, your school, you got to work out, you got to find time somehow to be a human being and all of that. And it is really, really easy to get caught up in just moving so fast that you don't, that you start making mistakes. Y'all, I know a lot of y'all have probably been in a situation where you're moving so fast. Sorry, y'all, my face was itching. But where you're moving so fast, you're moving so fast that you start making mistakes, that you start not really thinking through what you want to do. And I like, as a manager, y'all, just like on a professional tip, and from like as a mom boss, right, or mom of the household, when stuff starts getting rough and things start spinning, I don't go faster. I slow it all the way down. And I don't care who is upset. I don't care if stuff drops, because I look at the totality of the situation. If things can drop, but it ain't gonna, be life or death, or it's not gonna be me losing my house or whatever, it's gotta wait. Because when stuff gets serious, especially when it comes to your emotional well-being, your psychological, your spiritual wholeness, your sanity, your happiness, stuff gotta slow down all the way. And you need time to really game plan and think, take a step back. If you're presented with the issue, you need to say, okay, what is the issue? And you might not have the answer right away in terms of what a solution is. What I do is, before I go to sleep, I ask God to show me the answer. And y'all, I always get an answer. It might not be the next day, but sometimes it gets to a point where it's a bit much, where I will be asleep but be thinking all night, and it'll be an ancestor or a guide or something while I sleep, walking me through, telling me what I should do, how I should do it, what are solutions that I would have never thought up on my own. Like I said, sometimes it's taking a while, sometimes it's, but when I ask, I always get the answers. And I give myself the time to do it. And people will try to push you. People will try to rush you in that process. They'll be like, we need to know right now. We need to know an answer right now. We need this in the world. You've got to make sure that you create space and peace, and that you don't let anybody sway you off the path when you really need that space to be making those decisions. You can't let people make you feel bad about the decisions you got to make for the betterment of yourself and your family. Because at the end of the day, they not walking in your shoes. Only you are going to have to take whatever choice, whatever decisions. If you're acting hastily and you end up messing it up, guess who's going to have to pay for it? You. Only you can see what you can see. Only you know best how you do. And if you're willing to take an L in order to win the freaking battle, then that's what it'll be. But you really gotta slow down. And when we talk about anxiety, there are certain things that I would say really make your anxiety worse, that then makes you rush. Like if you smoking cigarettes, that definitely, y'all, I used to smoke Newports, heavy Newports, and you know what? That made me all kinds of anxious, y'all. all kinds of anxious. And I definitely was like, snap, snap, snap. We got to do it right now. We got to be on time. Got to be on time. But my thing is this. I think it's important to be prompt. I think it's important to be on time. But if promptness and timeliness is a proxy for your anxiety being out of control, for your cortisol levels to go up, which is then impacting your weight, your hormones, your organs, your thought process, and if you turn into a Shira, or, for a man, you turn into a mean old, you just get mean and grumpy and you snapping and you going off on the people around you, and then you rushing everybody because you're anxious and you're rushing everybody and you're not being nice, and people get scared of you and people acquiesce to your bad behavior because of your anxiety and they just get used to you. You gotta stop. You gotta slow down. You can be on time, but be on your time. Your time. And your time, is, if you want to do something on your time, but a lot of times, most of the time that we're rushing, it is not for our time. It's because somebody told us that, they needed it by this time. We don't want to let them down, expectations. But I swear, 7 times out of 10, when we're rushing for something outside of a job, right, where we're going to get fired, 7 times out of the 10, when we rush in for something, it's because we want to be there, because we are setting the expectation. And once we set the expectation, we hold strong to it. And then we're not flexible about it. Let's not cause anxiety where anxiety doesn't need to be due. Anxiety is a real killer, y'all. I used to be so anxious. And I wasn't nice. When I think about when I was anxious and when I was uptight and when I wouldn't breathe, y'all, I used to literally not breathe. I would be, I'm not literally, but seriously, I'd be like, dude, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do this, because I was a single mom, doing everything, and I felt the pressure, I felt the burden, I felt the load, because when you're a single mom, or also when you're trying to take care of everybody, stuff falls on you. But that's when a community isn't working like it should, and that's when the people around you who love you are not functioning like it should. Because if you're living in a cohesive, sustainable community, everybody helps everyone balance their load, and it shouldn't be unequally dispersed or distributed. But there are times where that happens, and so when I was like that, and when I was rushing from task to task, I would definitely say that things didn't get done as well as they should have been done. Things fail. Important things fail. Because I was rushing, trying to do everything, trying to make everyone happy. And guess what? The main thing that failed was my happiness. The main thing that got impacted was my health. The main thing that got impacted was my mental health too. Instability. You get tired. You get tired when you're rushing. You can't think clearly. And then then you don't even accomplish what you're trying to set out to accomplish, or you're not, so I think when we're moving about our lives, you're like, well, she's telling us to slow down, and how do I be successful? If you slow down and you think through, how can I accomplish what I want to accomplish? And how do I go about doing that? And what am I willing to put aside? Not to not address, but just not to prioritize at that moment. Something that you can choose to do later. Can't do it all at the same time. But make sure you choose what's most important to prioritize in any given time, and then set a plan to do that. Set a plan to do that. That way you're intentional about the approach you're going to take, and guess what? You'll actually be successful. And this is personal and professional, y'all. Because when we rush, we get forgetful and we mess things up, and the things that actually matter to us get dropped. So you got to choose what you're going to focus on in any given moment, and make a plan and execute it, and then move on to the next priority. All right. I hope this is helpful. Peace.